Greetings comrades, Soviet Gaming here. Today we are taking a look at the new hero in AFK Arena, and this time it's Hodgkin, I guess. So let's take a look at that guy. So first of all, that guy is pretty loud, but yeah, I can't really pronounce his name. Hodgkin, I guess. That's a strength-based hero. He is a tank for the Graveborn, so we have about 3 tanks already for the Graveborns who are really useful. And let's take a look at his skills and everything. So as always, we'll start with the skills, then we'll move on to the signature item, to the furniture, and then we'll move to the combat testing, artifacts and team composition. All the timestamps will be down there, so you can kind of scroll through the video to the part that you are most interested in. So alright, let's start with the signature ultimate skill. The Immortal. Hodgkin summons a gas ship that crashed into the most concentrated area of enemies, dealing 330% AoE damage to enemies simultaneously, siphoning the souls of all enemies on the battlefield for 7 seconds. What that means? Enemies that have their souls siphoned also have their damage and healing efficiency reduced by 25%. Additionally, enemies are terrified for 3.5 seconds and damage increased to 360. So what does it do? It puts basically AoE in the most grouped area of the map, and that terrifies enemies and makes them do lower damage and lower healing for 7 seconds. Not that bad for the tank, it's like a good support skill. Next one, Jolly Roger. Hodgkin, goddammit, summons down a Jolly Roger flag that deals 230 AoE damage to nearby enemies. Allied heroes that are within range have their defense rating increased by 20% and their attack rating increased by 20%, so that will buff our guys for the following 10 seconds. If an enemy within the range have their souls siphoned, the flag shall be strengthened, with its duration being extended to 3 seconds. After the flag has been strengthened, any allied heroes within the range shall have their haste additionally increased by 35 points. This is complicated. Damage is increased to 160, allied heroes within the range have their defense rating increased by 30% and attack rating increased by 30%. Basically, the buff flag that does damage to enemies increase our defense and attack by 30% and also gives haste if the enemies are under the ultimate effect. Really looking good so far. Next one, Soul Devourer. Hodgkin raises both of his Soul Devourer cannons that deals 240% damage to his target, also siphoning their soul in the process. The effect of the soul siphoning the same as the Immortal, which is basically the ultimate. This ability has an additional 35% life leech effect when damage is dealt. At level 4, the damage is increased to 280%, so it's a little bit higher damage. And if an enemy has already had a soul siphon, they will be additionally stunned for 3 seconds. So this is a really cool skill because it works really well with the Jolly Roger, so that will add additional siphoning that will kind of extend the flag and give our guys haste if your ultimate isn't ready. So that is really nice. Now let's move on to Reviler's Defiance. Hodgkin starts blocking frontal damage and is immune to control effects for 3 seconds, or until he blocks an amount of damage equal to 25% of his max health. After Hodgkin finishes blocking damage, he immediately retaliates against the attacker, dealing up to 15% of the attacker's max health as damage. The amount of damage dealt is determined by the duration of time Hodgkin blocks damage for, but shall not exceed 550% of Hodgkin's own attack rating. So basically this is a tanking skill, finally a good tanking skill other than the buff. And he can, at level 2, that will be 35% of his max health as a tanking ability, and then he will attack back instantly and deal damage up to 20% of the max target health. That's really interesting, and the damage dealt will be limited by his attack rating as well, so that's a pretty good amount in my opinion. We will have to test it out. On paper, that all looks pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty interesting mechanics and should be good. Now let's move on to the signature item. Pirate's Greed. It will give physical resist, so that's a really good. That will make him even more tanky. And let's see what does it do. Hodgkin immediately recovers 10% of his max health for every non-summon target that has their soul siphoned. This effect can be triggered 3 times every 4.5 seconds. Alright, that's changing his skill set quite a lot. So basically when he releases ultimate or use that ability that soul siphons, he recovers 10% of his max health. That is a really good passive healing, so Soul Siphoning actually recovers health. And there is a life drain on which ability? On this ability, on Soul Devourer, you have the life leech here as well. So it's really nice. Let's take a look at the plus bonuses. Plus 10. Hodgkin immediately recovers 15% of his max health for every non-summoned target that have the Soul Siphon. Plus 10. Hodgkin immediately recovers 15% of his health for every non-summoned target that has a Soul Siphon. Plus 20. Hodgkin's was... Plus 20. Hodgkin's one most injured ally shall also recover 15% of their max health values. Okay, that's already quite good. Like, plus 20 is a must if you want to build him. Plus 30. Each time an enemy has a Soul Siphon, the damage Hodgkin deals to that enemy is permanently increased by 20%, and this effect can be stacked against every enemy a maximum of 3 times. So, if the fight is taking quite a while, if it's not like 5-second fight, if it's a long fight, that guy will be really good because he will do 60% more damage to all enemies, because ultimate and all that Soul Siphoning will take effect. On paper, that's really nice. Moreover, healing of him and the weakest ally is really good as well. Okay, I'm curious now. Let's go to the furniture. Pirate's Curse. 3 furniture bonus. When an enemy has their Soul Siphon, the effect shall continue up until Hodgkin's death. What? Oh my god, that's really good. So I guess that will be a must. That means after one ultimate, they will all be siphoned forever, I guess. We will have to test that. Enemies that have the Soul Siphon shall have their healing efficiency and damage reduced by 35%. If the same enemy has the Soul Siphon again, they will be dealt damage equal to 290% of the Hodgkin's attack rating. What the hell? Guys, this is OP. Enemies will have their Soul Siphon forever at 3 times 3, and at 9 it will also lower their healing and damage by 35%, and they will be dealt damage after that. Oh my god. It seems that this tank is a really good debuffer, and I'm eager to test him out. And I might even go for building him. I have a summoning session coming on my test account, and probably that will be my go-to guy. Let's go and try him up. Alright, so the test fight, slowly. That's the shield, that's the retaliation, that's his attack. The guys with the icon up to, like, above them have the Soul Siphon. There we go. That guy is terrified. Oh my god, that's, like, I already see how this guy plus Silas means a real powerful Graveborn team that won't be really easily defeated. Oh my god, that is so good. What is that AoE thingy? Ah, that's the flag. That's the flag. Alright, I like what I see here, guys. I like what I see here. I don't know about you guys, but that is really fantastic. So, here comes the flag. Here comes the ultimate. Bam! The ship is over there. The terrification, the Soul Siphon is working just like that. So that guy... Oh, it's not Siphon anymore. Why? So, guys, I like what I saw over there. Let's give an actual test fight. I wanna fight some tanks, so I can see how the Soul Siphon works in the long term, so we need to find someone who will be, you know, not that strong, so they won't decimate us fast enough. So guys, the only thing that I'm unhappy about, that I haven't actually saw the Soul Siphon working for, like, forever. The signature item didn't seem to kick in over there, I'm not sure. Over here, let's try to make a tanky team, so we won't actually defeat the enemies, so we can test out the long-term application of his abilities. No, I don't want Torn because they kind of have the same healing debuff option, and I don't want that. I want Nemora for the healing, and maybe Cirrus for additional pushing enemy out, or maybe that guy. We will see. And I want to move him down there so he won't be affected by the Mesas, because that's like a death sentence. We don't want that. So okay, he's up here fighting using his abilities. I want him to use ultimate to see the Soul Siphon in effect on all the enemies, like on the enemy group. There we go, the ship. Boom! Over there. So the Soul Siphon is happening right now. Take a look at his regen. Is it really good or just good? It's supposed to be really good, but it's just okay. I don't see a lot of healing from him. But yeah, it seems that Soul Siphoning is working like forever now. It's not ending before he dies. That is really cool. So that's a long-term debuff on the enemies. Let's take a look at the damage stats. It's kind of even with all our tanks, but that wasn't team for the win. It was team to test out the Soul Siphon, because at the dummy it didn't work. Let's give him a try in other team compositions. We can use the Zyra here because that will be a good addition. Let's do a healing team so we can see how he will behave in the team of healers, so he can show his damage output. And we want to take out this lady away, Isabella, because she's annoying. Alright, again, flag. So that already lowers the damage for like most of our area of the battlefield. Oh yeah, the Zyra was a bad idea because I can't see anything on the map right now. This team will win this, I'm pretty sure about that. Look at that, we are just... they don't stand a chance. Why are we scared? There is nothing to be afraid of. The flag... all the enemies are drained, and that means that they have their damage reduced by 35% already. And look at that, we are not really taking serious damage here. So in terms of the damage dealing and the long-term fights, not the bursty fights, he should be really good, like really good. At least from what I see over here, he's doing a fantastic job. Just get additional healer in the team and you're good. Easy. Let's take a look at the stats. He didn't do that much damage, but he can't do that. He's mostly a tank and support for the damage and defense buff. Even Numisu was our main damage dealer here. That was hilarious. But yeah, I like what I saw over here. Now let's try to make a proper team. Those are light bearers, so that should be interesting. Proper team with the damage dealers and stuff, so it will be more aggressive this time. Let's put it like that. Like that. That team. I wonder if it will work or not, because we have Aaron there, and Aaron is kind of annoying. As long as the shield is up, I can see that my guys don't really take that excessive damage. Look at that. That is really good. Nara will die though. I don't see his life drain going up like crazy. Where is his percentage of life regen on the ability? He's blocking the damage right now. He's dead. So he couldn't retaliate in time. Belinda is still alive, gosh. Could you guys die already? Alright, here the results aren't that crazy for him. But then again, I think that his main role will be that flag and debuff. So if all the enemies stack together, there will be a ship. So we need the Screeth in our team. That's what we need. We need Screeth in our team. So all the enemies will be together, attacked by the ship. And do we have Screeth here? No, not in this one. Oh, we don't have Screeth in any of our team setups here. That's sad. So what I mean, if Screeth will get all enemies together and then there will be a ship, and that kind of ends them, because they will all have the serious debuff and they won't be able to do that much, and he can tank after that. Let's try something like this, and Shemira will be a good option here. And maybe we'll get a Graveborn team, why the hell not? That will be interesting. Shemira in the front line though. So I want to see how he will fare against Brutus here. So he will be able to tank out that damage output. Alright. Honestly, it seems that we are doing really well. It seems that we don't have any issues with this fight. Oh my god. So in the proper team, that flag will do wonders, because it will buff your damage, it will buff your haste, and it will destroy the enemy's chances of doing stuff. Flag plus Soul Siphon is a really good combination, and it just makes your power difference so much lower and kind of even out the chances if you have the same team. Yep, so we don't expect really high results from him over here in terms of damage or anything, but in a good team he will be a good addition, specifically for the Graveborn team. Oh, no, don't take it, gosh. Specifically for the Graveborn towers, where he will be able to shine way better. Now I want to test him out in the campaign a little bit. I borrowed the hero from the game And let's try to make a Graveborn team finally and see how it will behave. Do I have Silas? No, my Silas is way too weak. Damn. We need some healer here, so let's put Rowan will be a good option. Why not? So I want to see if that team will be able to successfully fight a few fights and how he will behave in the normal fight. He isn't fully upgraded, only 2 stars and plus 21 signature item here. So don't expect the top performance here because this is a test account, it's not that leveled up. But he's doing a fantastic job because sometimes I use the heroes, I test them in the campaign and they just fail drastically, they can do anything. Hodgkin though is doing a really good job. His flag is really good, his soul siphon is really good as well. All his abilities are pretty fantastic. And if you want to build him up, well, I'll get to that in the conclusion a bit later. Let's just enjoy the fight, and we won, and he actually did quite a good damage. So now when it's actual combat, it's not the same heroes, he did more damage than Nara somehow. Of course, Diamond and Shemira were better, but here he managed to heal a lot, he managed to do way better job. And I think in the real combat, in the Graveborn teams, he will be a really good asset. Probably, I don't know if he can be better than Thoran in terms of tanking, but for the long fights he might be. So not for the high deficit area, but for the long fights he might be the top 10. If it will be the burst damage team, probably not that good. Probably not good. Although his flags, like, that might help your burst team. Let's actually see when the flag will drop on the battlefield when the fight just starts. So over here our guys are still decimating the enemy. Yep, good addition to the Graveborn team. I mean, this is a really good guy. Same in terms of damage, same as Nara, behind the Diamond and Shemira. Healing really good as well, so tanking really nice. Let's go and see when he will drop the flag, like in the first how many seconds of the fight. So the fight starts, they're all in the front area, and no flag yet. What, is it 8 seconds? He is being attacked by Taylor, so it's not a fair comparison. He's already shielded, but no flag. Let's go back to the Arena of Trials and test it there. So right, I tried to test it out. Oh, there is no timings. Yeah, it's going straight after the fight starts. Okay, let's try to put him in the back line then. Maybe that will work. The fight starts, step, flag. There we go. So if you put him in the back line, the flag will appear straight away at the beginning of the fight, and all your guys will already benefit from the increased damage, increased haste if the enemy inside the flag area, and increased defense. So that would be really good. In the next fight we'll test him in the front area to see why there was no flag when we tested it here, and I think that will help us a lot with something. Let's finish those guys off. Look at the stats today. He managed to do really good damage. Wow. So he can actually be pretty good if he have chance to deal damage, if he is not being interrupted that much. Because if you're a tank in the front line, that's obvious that you can get your ass beaten. Let's try it like that. Yeah, the flag appears straight away unless he is being disrupted. So if he will be pushed back by someone at the beginning of the fight, there will be no flag. So be careful when you're placing him on your front line. So the flag will be there, because flag is really, it's his main skill basically, because that will help your whole team, that will help him, that will help everyone. So that's a good thing. Alright, so in the campaign he showed himself like a really strong hero. Even though our guys aren't that like we have the same power with the enemy team, it's still really good, because other heroes I tested like that were really lackluster. Let's move on to his signature item, I mean artifact. Let's check other tank and check other tanking artifact to see what will be good for him, for his skill set. So since he have a lot of buffs and not really a damage dealer, sometimes he's good, I wouldn't recommend anything like Dura's Drape or Dura's Chalice of Vitality. Maybe this one if you don't have other artifacts, if you're early on. That will give him more survivability, but overall I wouldn't say it's a good option. Although the actual tanking artifacts might be good, so the barricade, good one. If he's your only tank, that will be really good for saving your heroes, and he will get additional critical damage resistance and HP, so that will be really nice. So that will allow him to save your ally who is dying, and since he have a lot of life drain and healing abilities, he should be okay. Now let's move on to the Waistband of Resilience. HP defense is a good option for him, but the artifact power based on the crowd control abilities will again depend on your team. So if you have crowd control available, that will be good, that will give him more survivability. If not, that won't be a good option. A life limit though, this one is really interesting. It will increase his received healing, which is really nice, hit points, which is really nice as well. And the artifact power will be really useful as well, because he will be able to target the enemies who are in the backline and everything. So that will increase his DPS, that will increase his ability to actually crowd control enemies, to do the debuffs, because they will be even more debuffed. They will have the haste reduced by 12 points for 5 seconds. So that will be a good option for him. I think, like, my personal opinion, this will be the best, but then again, I might be wrong. Now, as for the team composition, we already saw how good he is in the full Graveborn team. That's a no-brainer. Then again, if we will use Silas here, for example, we don't have him available. He isn't really leveled up, but Silas plus him will give a lot of healing. Specifically, I don't know. That will be really nice. So this will be a good starting combo. Let's put it like that. Silas somewhere on one of those two positions. Him will be a good combination for anything. Then, as I said before, if we'll add Scryat into the team composition, that will allow us to pull all enemies together, so he can actually use his barricade, shield, and ship will kind of damage everyone. So this will be my main recommendation for him. Even without the Scryat, he's still pretty good. We saw how his ship is still good, dropping randomly on the enemies, and depends on your team. I think he can fit most of those. If you can still get a faction bonus for 3 heroes, let's put it like that, he is really good in most of them, because of his flag that will kinda make your guys better, because of his ability to debuff enemies, to soul siphon, to self-heal and everything. It requires further testing though, as always, but I think in the most teams he will be a good addition. I mean, out of all tanks, he seems to be in the top 5, the actual tanks, because Diamond here, let's put it fair, he isn't really a tank. So Brutus will be somewhere even on him, because Brutus is different. He's used for, you know, stalling the enemy while you try to do something before he dies. Lucius, they're kinda even, because Lucius have the healing and the shield, and his protection ability. This guy have the protection, self-heal, and healing of allies as well, with the proper furniture and signature item. Gradual is a little bit different. He's that I would say that he's better than Gradual even. I mean, Gradual is nice with his debuff on the enemy mages, but other than that, I don't really like him that much. This guy is good for saving his allies, but then again, different factions. So yeah, he is therefore in top 5 tanks, and I really like him. I think I will build him on my test account, because I like how he looks, I like his tactics, and he can kinda be useful in the most teams, I think. Not the top priority hero anyway, but if you wanna build him up, you can. So what are my overall thoughts on the new Graveborn hero, Hodgkin? I would say he's a really good hero. I already said in the team composition that he is easily in top 5 tanks, so you won't miss anything if you go for him. Specifically if you need the Graveborn Tank. He is... Thoran, Gradual, and him are all a little bit different, and they're all useful in one situation or another. Of course, Thoran Cheese will be more preferred because you can use it later in the campaign in one of your teams, but that guy can be used somewhere else because of his buffs of allies, his debuffs of enemies and all that stuff, and soul siphoning and energy regen. So I would say go for him. As for the signature item and other priorities, let me take a look at that really fast. As for his signature item, I would say plus 20 is necessary as a support, plus 30 is good because he will be more damage dealing, but we saw in the testing, in the trials, that he isn't really good in terms of damage if the team is even, although in the campaign he did a fantastic damage, so it's up to you. And in the campaign he had only plus 20, so on plus 30 he would be even better. Talking about the furniture, I would say 3 is a must because Soul Siphon will last forever. 9 pretty much yes as well, because look at that, that will allow you to get the debuffs on enemies by 35% damage and healing, and after that they will get additional damage from that, so that's another good opportunity to make them weaker and do damage after that as well. So yeah, I would say that maxing him out would be the best option as always, but it can go well with plus 20 plus 3. It will be good enough. 203 as they say right now. Alright, so yeah, I will definitely build him up on my test account, probably not on my main account though, because I have a lot of good strong Graveborns and I have other priorities there. I want to build Odin first, but he's definitely somewhere there where I want to build him up. So yeah, finally we get a good new hero. He isn't like really fantastic because tanks are a little bit overrated. You can't really survive in the high deficit area with the tanks without cheesing. I don't know, up to you. I will definitely build him up, so let me know if you want to build him up or not in the comment section below. While you go in there, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends and guildies, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Also check the pinned comment and the video description for additional links. We have more hero breakdowns over there. We have links to the Discord, to other AFK Arena playlists. You will find something useful there for sure. And yeah, that's about it for now. Thank you for watching, guys. Soviet out. До свидания.